Morning, guys. How are we doing this morning? Sorry, I'm a bit late. I just did a trade there. It just come out of it. Okay. Where do I start? Okay. I've been having some problems lately. I've been struggling with the discipline and the psychology. And I went back on my chart yesterday. I actually managed to get myself in the green yesterday. I went back on my chart yesterday and I don't know what happened, but I took a bad trade, went against me really quickly, and just things went bad to worse. So I ended up blowing that live account. There's been a lot of stuff going on at home lately, and my head has just not been in the game. Some of you probably know anyway, my mum passed away on the 28th of December, so we've got the funeral tomorrow, so my head has just been in the clouds. We've got family down, we've had stuff to prepare, stuff to do, and all the sort of the crap that goes along with that. And I've just felt my stress levels have just been through the roof. So I was clearly not in the best frame of mind. Clearly not in the best frame of mind to trade a live account anyway. And if I'm honest with myself, that PA I passed, I didn't pass it properly. I just rushed it and I took some risks and I got lucky basically. So to cut a long story short, I need to get back to basics and I need to, so what I've done is on the one upside of failing a PA account is you get a 80% offer. So I took that yesterday. Or this morning, and I'm back on an evaluation now. I need to do it properly. It's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. I need to do it properly. I need to do it the right way. I can't cut corners. And to be honest with you, the PA account I passed for that, sorry, the evaluation I didn't do it properly. So in my honest opinion, I didn't deserve it anyway. So, you know, it is what it is. We've all had struggles, haven't we? We've all found it hard from time to time, and I still feel like I've been trying to battle to get that live account back I had, the one I did so well on, but you know, I've just got to face it. It's gone. I've got to move on. So I've started evaluation this morning. I've just done a trade now, actually. It was that good a trade as I doubled up on it and took it out here. Which might have seemed a bit silly, but I just loved the trade. I thought it was that good, and I took it out up here. So I got a few points off that. What did I get? So I can't remember what I got anyway, but I took it about down here. So I got a couple of two odd points on it or something. So, so yeah, it's just been a trying time lately. It was a good trade that actually, wasn't it? Second entry, rather the key entry point, big bar. I come in just below there, so I'm $500 odd up at the moment. So that's on the positive side. It's not often you get a real sitter like that one nowadays, is it? It didn't break a new high. It matched. Oh no, tell a lie, it didn't. So you know, I'm still sort of expecting it to at some point. So you know, look. Hey Sam, how you doing? So let's have a look who's in anyway. So Grandpa Roger, how you doing? Nicholas, how you doing? Lead loser, good morning. Techno King, how you doing? Keith, how you doing, Keithy? G-Money, top of the morning. Jacko, how you doing, buddy? All good here. Up 325, copied in Apex counts. Good on you, mate. I'm pleased for you. Well done. Lead and loser, sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's all fine, isn't it? So, you know, life goes on, doesn't it? You have to sort of, you know, just look at that second entry long. Yeah, I know it was a good one, wasn't it? So that's why I took that one, and I doubled up, actually. I probably shouldn't have done, but it was that good a trade. I thought even if I could get a point and a half out of it, and I did all right. Who we missing? Sam, how you doing, Sam? Lead loser, I'm getting smoked in all my positions at the moment. Trading's been tough lately, I've got to say. A lot tougher than I expected it to be, but I don't know. So yeah, back on an eval. I need to do it the right way. I cut corners on that one yesterday. I can't do that. It's not right. You don't deserve to get on it. And obviously with what's been going on at home lately, it's just my head's fried. And it's probably not. I probably should have took a bit of time off actually, but I don't tend to, I tend to stick at things probably when I should take time off, but you know what it's like sometimes. I tend to sort of battle on really when I probably should be taking breaks. But look, the one good side about failing a PA account is you get an 80% off email. So I just need to do it the right way. And do you know, I mentioned last week that I need to stop picking tops and bottoms. And what did I do yesterday? I picked a top, lost it, and picked a bottom. Not only did I pick the bottom, I picked the bottom right into a bloody downtrend, which was just pure stupidity. Where was it? I can't find it now. It wasn't here, was it? Or was it in? No, I'm sure it was a lot sharper than that. I think it was actually. Was it that one? I don't know. No, it was that one. We've been going in this range, and I picked that. No, it can't have been that one because that worked. I think it must have been that one. No, it wasn't. It was after here. It may have been that one. I can't remember anyway, but I just did everything that I did that market go yesterday, didn't it? I just did everything against what I've been saying to do, so I don't... sometimes when you know these things, but you still bloody do them, it's frustrating, isn't it? So you feel like banging your head against the wall sometimes, don't you? We know. I mean, I know how to trade. I know what's a good trade. That one to me is a good trade. We clearly got a trend working up. We had a break. Bloody EMA pushed strong above the EMA. It's clearly a second entry long, and it went. What did it go for? I got on a bit of a limit order, but what did it go for? You'd have got 3 points out of it. Now, what I tend to do is, if there's not a lot, I tend to come out at the top of the highest body there, just to be under it, just to give myself a little what's it. But if you even took that from the top there, and it hit that, you'd have got 2 points at least. Which is why I doubled up, because there wasn't a massive amount. But should I done? I don't know. I thought it was such a good trade sometimes. And to be honest with you, whenever I see these good trades, they just do not fail. They don't fail. And they say 95, 98% of the time, they just never fail. It's quite uncanny, really. If we just sit and wait for those perfect trades, they just don't fail. You would do at least 95%. The only reason something like that would fail is if there was some sort of weird news event or something happened to send it the other direction quickly. But I don't know. Wait, what did I miss? Yes, I did. G-Money, yeah. To be honest with you, I'm just obviously what's going on at home at the moment. My edit is just not right lately. I don't think I've got over losing that PA account where I actually earned some money. It's been playing on my mind, and obviously we're losing my mum, and I've got a 14-year-old daughter as well, and she's been taking it really hard. So I've been worrying about her, and I've been up, down, up, down. I probably had about 4 hours sleep last night. I keep waking up, and it might sound like an excuse, but trading's an emotional business, and if you've got emotions going on in your life, it can mess you around a bit. And I just have not been in the right frame of mind. Most people probably would have taken a bit of time off, but I'm stupid like that. I just, what I mean? So it is what it is anyway. But look, I've got to do it the right way. I took stupid higher risks to pass that evaluation to get the PA, so I didn't deserve the damn thing anyway, really. So, I'm going to go back to basics now. I'm stopping picking tops and bottoms because they just don't work for me. I'm obviously not good at reading them. But if I look back when I first started streaming like 2 months ago, I passed a PA account, excuse me, in 7 days. So that was $3,000. I then, over the next sort of 4 or 5 weeks, sort of 4 weeks or so, built up another $7,500. So if you add the two together, I've come up from $0 to $10,500. So I can clearly do it, but obviously ended up taking some poor trades, and it was it was the day after my mum passed away, so that probably didn't help. But as soon as the market opened, I picked a top. So my problem is, if I analyse, my issues, it's picking tops and picking bottoms. They're clearly not working for me. So any, normal thinking person would just stop doing them. But I seem to be having trouble getting it through my thick head sometimes. I really do. So if somebody sees me pick a top or bottom, just give me just call me something flipping horrible. Just make me life miserable. Send me messages, stupid hours of the morning, but I'm stopping picking tops or bottoms. Second entries like that, failures. The bread and butter trades, I've got to stop doing this stupid thing. Otherwise, I'm going to end up doing the same thing for the rest of my life, failing bloody, So look, it is what it is. I'm not going to rant on about it anymore. I know I'm an idiot sometimes. I'll be the first to admit it. We all do stupid things, and I've done my fair share of them. So I'm stopping picking tops and bottoms. They just don't work. So let's see if we can't build an evaluation up and do it the right way. Day by day, over 7 to 10 days or whatever it takes. To be honest, Jack, you have to be a glutton for punishment doing this business, don't you? Because it ain't easy. You can't just waltz into it. And I had a comment yesterday on one of my videos. Now, some people have bad comments and they delete them, but to be honest with you, part of it was right and part of it was a bit harsh. A guy basically said, I think he's watched the stream. He wasn't nasty, but I think it's just the way he came over. He went, you're clearly not ready. You've got no business trading a live account, blah, blah, blah. You did a trade right into a trend. Now, what he said about me taking the trades was exactly right. They were bang out stupid amateur. I should have known better trades. Let me just have a look at this. I should have known better trades. But obviously the bit about I had no business trading a live account, I disagreed with. I said, well, I don't agree with that. But the thing is, the reason we have these prop firms is so that newer traders who haven't got a lot of money and don't want to spend a lot of money can get experience. I've honestly had to stay away from the comments here. Too negative. Yeah, to be honest with you, that's the worst comment. I don't think I've had anything really negative. I've had honest opinions, but nothing I would say that may be a bit over the top. But this guy did say, actually, and I said, look, I agree with you on the trades, but saying I got no business doing a live account, I said this is what we do. This is what newer traders who've got a little bit of experience do. They it's all right. They take evaluations. That's how we learn. That's how we expose ourselves to the emotions. You have to do that. You can't just spend 2 years on a sim and then jump straight into a live account and go, I'm ready now. You have to have that experience. So I said that back to him, and to be honest with you, he said to me that I didn't mean to offend you. I like the stream, blah blah blah. So it was all good. I haven't got an issue with comments as long as they're somewhat honest. And what he said about the trades was exactly right. I've just got, he might not have seen me trading over the last sort of couple of months, but I know what a good trade is. I know that is clearly a good trade. It's a second entry long. I mean, it's a big old bar, isn't it? But which is why I took it in a bit of a limit order. What is it? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 5.25 bar. I took it about here. So it's probably 3.5, 4 points. But it's a good trade. We've clearly got a trend going up. So I know what a good trade is. I just need to get my discipline back in check and start doing things the right way. So look, I'm back on an evaluation today. I've got my mum's funeral tomorrow, so there'll be no trading. I'll be back on Monday. So I'm just going to try and build this account up over the next 7 to 10 days and get back to doing it the right way and just stop picking tops and bottoms. Playing is a skill game. Once you've got a skill, it becomes a mindset. Yeah, I believe I can trade. I believe I've got enough skills to be able to spot good entries and take them. But like I say, I've got past that beginner stage now. I'm moving into that intermediate stage where I have the skills to be able to trade, but I'm working on the hardest part of it. As you say, G-Money, is the mindset and the psychological side. And the only way to deal with that is to have risk. there's no other way. You spend time on a demo, whether you spend 6 months, 12 months on a demo, whatever. And then when you start to be able to read the market, which I think I can do relatively well, and, spot good trades, that's when you need to start working on the psychological side of it. And the only way to do that is to have risk. Fact. It doesn't get any simpler than that. And the only way to have risk, in my opinion, or the best way to have risk, is evaluations, because they're the cheapest way. Because you are going to lose money. You'll never, ever be a successful trader without losing money, because it's going to cost you money. How much? Obviously, you can limit the damage by doing these evaluations. But, I didn't agree. I agreed with what he said about the trades. They were amateurish. I should have known better. But saying I had no business on the live account. But he was okay. He was fine about it. We had a bit of a chat about it. Leading loser jumped in and gave him a bit of what for. Stuck up for me a bit, so I appreciate that. But I've got no issues. I've got no issues with I've got no issues with comments. But it is what it is, isn't it? People say stuff. It's a fact. If I expose myself to what I'm doing now, then I have to expect the fact that I may get some maybe a little bit too honest comments. But it is what it is. So thought your second trade was right. Yeah, the thing is, I took it at the bottom when I expected it to come up, but it was still in that downtrend. Now it broke. If I'd have added an extra couple of ticks to that, I'd have had it up. But that would have been the wrong thing to do. So I think what's right is happened. I wasn't in the right frame of mind to have passed that evaluation, which is why I rushed it and did it stupidly. And if you're going to take stupid gambles and stupid risks to pass these evaluations to get a PA count, then, you can't expect to come in and start making money. It was my own stupid fault. But, we got to move on, haven't you? So it's just a bit choppy that at the moment. So it is what it is anyway. So I'm just going to try and focus myself and get back to taking those proper trades. The bread and butter trades that I know all too well what they are. And try and do it the right way. Because if you want a PA account, if you trade an evaluation right and you do it properly, build it up slowly over a week or 10 days or whatever, and you pass it, then you fully deserve to be on a PA account. And you have to, because you have to experience these things and can become yeah. The trouble is sometimes when you're doing really well, like I had such a fantastic run, you can get a bit overconfident, can't you? And I think that's where I had the problem. I got overconfident, but that's me. That's my stupid fault. Yeah, that's my stupid fault. But let's see if I learn my lesson. So I hope everyone's well. Have I read the book Trading for a Living? I haven't. I don't recognise that one. I have read a lot of books. Maybe, I don't know. I've certainly read a dozen or so books, and I've listened to a lot on Audible. But that one doesn't ring a bell. Trading for a living, it's all right. I've just took a little shot of that on my phone. I'll look into that one. I've been funded on and off, tried to hit home runs. Yeah, and I got funded instead. I think it's something we all do, Carl. I think I don't think many people could say they haven't tried to rush a PA account. I think it'd be a case of not necessarily I haven't, is how many I have. We've all done it. Check out Trading for a Living, written by psychologist turned day trader. Yeah, I've read all the usual ones. But you know, the ironic thing is, when I think about it, I'm trading 2 contracts, okay, and I usually go for 4 points. Now, even if I get 1 trade in a day, if I can wait for that 1 trade in a day, make my points and finish, or even if I just get that 1 a day, $400 a day, that's $2,000 a week. That's $8,000 a month, potentially, just on 1 account, trading 2 contracts. I seem to try to get more, you know what I mean? I seem to think, well, I've got to get 1 now because I've only got this amount of time left. When I could sit here for 2.5 hours, take 1 trade, and that's all I really need to do. So it's common sense, really, isn't it? Sit and wait for all this garbage and wait for something like that and take it and commit. And there you go. That's all you need to do. But sometimes getting it through your thick head, sometimes it's just, sometimes I just don't listen to my own, I can advise other people. It's weird, isn't it? You can see it yourself, but doing it is something else. Isn't it weird, isn't it? That's emotions for you. That's why they've wrote so many bloody books. See what I mean? I've got to avoid things like this, back into the range and then this and this. Because guaranteed, whenever I see them, they work as soon as I take one. But I've got to leave stuff and wait for things like this. Now, if I'd have been on a PA account this morning and I'd have taken that trade, I'd have been sorted. And that's all I really would have had to do for the day. But it is what it is. So, anyway, moving on. Let's get on. Let's sit and wait. So we had that. We had a big old pump yesterday, didn't we? After that news, I haven't put my lows and that for the day yet. We opened up and had a bit of a gap this morning, didn't we? Let's just put one of these in here. Where do we open? We opened there. No, we didn't. Is that where we open or close? I never worked this out. Surely that would be the open. Remind me, top or bottom? I can't think it. I'm pretty sure they're it. And then we jumped, didn't we? I'm pretty sure that's it. No, it's here, isn't it? Just remind me, guys. That's the open, isn't it? And then we jumped. Or did we jump and that's the open? Just remind me. I forget this. My head's gone blank. Should that be at the bottom or the top? Just remind me. Bottom here or the top there? Just remind me. I would suggest not to think about money. Yeah, you're right. I think it's more the bit that's been playing in my head is I know I've managed to do it. And I've just got that thing ringing in the back of my head that I shouldn't have blown it. You know what I mean? If I'd have stuck to the rules. So what I need to do is just gap up. Is Globex. So does it? Yeah, I can't think. Is that in the right place, or does it need to go up to the bottom of the body and the top one? Just remind me. I think it's in the right place, isn't it? Yeah, I just need to get back and just relax and get on with it the right way. Just wait for the setups, nothing else. Forget the tops and bottoms because they've got me into all sorts of problems. And it is 4145. 4145.5. 41. Yeah, so it's there then. That's fine. Yeah, because we open up there. We open at the bottom of the green. We push down is a red, and then the green went up. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, it's all right. I just had a bit of a mental blockage there. Seemed to be a slight downward bias here, but I'm not paying too much attention to that. It is. It's a sort of downwards, but let's see if we get further down here at the moment. But there's the open anyway. I don't think the news was relatively positive yesterday. I don't think we're going to get down to these lows, but I will put a mark in there anyway, just in case we do. Okay, so that's down there. If we need it. Yeah, we do seem to be trending down a touch, don't we? Just a touch. Prefer to go a little bit lower then, so we're out of this then, but okay, we have sort of. Okay, there's a downward bias there, isn't there? It's not what I would call an amazing trend at the moment. It's sort of sideways down, sort of. But okay, keep an eye on that. Best traders love the process as opposite to the outcome. Yeah, Douglas. Best traders love the process opposite to the yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, reset, fall into place. Yeah, Jamie. Yeah, I do like the challenge. I got to say, I like the challenge. I do quite enjoy sat here in front of a screen. I'd rather be doing this job than stuck out in the cold doing something. Or I hate working for other people. I got to say. I worked for a company a while ago. I was there for 11 and a half years. And on every notice board in that whole building, they have little notes and signs up about equality. Everything was about equality. And then come Christmas, all the managers and their wives would get taken away to a hotel for the night, wined and dined all free of charge. And all the lads, all the workers got nothing. They had to arrange their own and pay for it all themselves, and that's not equality to me. Everyone should get treated the same, really. Obviously, managers and all that get a bit better salaries and maybe cars, but, that's the way it is. But so I've had a couple of bad experiences with some long-term employers I've had. And I want to work for myself. I've always enjoyed being in front of a computer. And I do love the fact that once you can do this and you can do it well, you never have to worry about, being unemployed or, if you have an injury at work, you can't work. Or, sometimes if you're feeling ill and you've got a physical job, it's quite hard to do, but you can sit in front of a computer, can't you? So there's just so many positives to this. Obviously, there's some negatives as well. But if you can get past all the shit and finally get somewhere, there is a lot of positives to this. You don't have to worry about getting made redundant, struggling for work. We have another pandemic. Makes no bit of damn difference. Doesn't matter whether the markets are booming or whether they're crashing. Makes no difference. There's always work. quit trading 2 or 3 times a year. I can see why sometimes. uh, it is hard, isn't it? Sometimes, I did consider taking a break. Don't get me wrong. Yesterday, I really did consider taking a break. But I don't know. I enjoy trading. I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy learning things and trying to work out what's going on and just bettering myself. I want to earn some better money for myself and my family. Yeah, I want a better life. Everyone does. It's supposed to wreck you. Yeah, I can see that. I don't mind that. I'm prepared for that. I don't mind getting absolutely flipping. I don't mind if I'm stuck out in the woods, standing in front of a tree with a rope in my hand. I don't care how far I go towards the edge, as long as I stick it and come back. But if you do, what an achievement! Yeah, what an achievement! Mm. Mm. Yeah, we certainly. I'm just gonna get rid of some of the colour out of this so it doesn't confuse things. That's a bit better. Still haven't hit a new high here, so it's unusual, isn't it? But maybe we will. Just wondering if we're going to have more sort of positive news. Sorry, are we going to start continue to push higher after such positive news. I think it's probably likely we'll get a spike out of this side at some point. What do they call that? A bull flag or something like that? It's a bit fried at the minute. I have a chart. Chart different, but long. Oh, well done. Well done. Good for you. I do like hearing about people doing well. Got FOMO, mate. Yeah, we've all felt that feeling, haven't we? Yeah, we've had this push up. I think it's likely we're going to push up strongly out of this side of it. But obviously, we're downtrend at the moment, so all we can really do is go for shorts, isn't it? Mm. That is a lower high, isn't it? Actually, it's a failure. It's actually a failure. Get something out of this. I'm not going to be too greedy here. Okay, that worked all right. Okay, so we had this push up. We had a bit of an overshoot here, but we had this push up, break, 2 pushes up to a new high, trying to go once, push through the EMA, trying to go twice. It was a little bit further away from the EMA, but we do seem to be coming down. So, okay, what did that give us? That gave us something. That wasn't a bad trade, I don't think. That wasn't a bad trade. Six, 7, 8, 9, 2.5 points. Okay, that was okay. It was also a second entry short and a failure, so I think that was okay actually. Probably going to get a bit lower, but I'm just trying not to be a bit too greedy and jump the gun a bit. But okay, so that was a second entry short and a failure. Pushed up. We had one leg down. I was expecting another leg. So I know that was a bad trade. Obviously, continue to go then. Okay. Anybody else took that? You took that as a failed second. Yeah, I took it as a failure, but I was aware it was also a second entry short. I think it was okay. So we had this little push down. So even if we come back a bit, I thought it was okay. So it's not often we get 2 reasonable trades like that. The trouble is sometimes with the way it's been trading lately, you know, when you seem to get that feeling these good trades are coming. They're not coming along as thick and fast as they used to, and sometimes that lends you into a false sense of security, doesn't it? And you sort of take crappy trades because you don't think those. Sometimes have you ever waited for something and you think it just feels like it's never going to come, and you're looking, and you sort of sometimes you get dragged into taking lower standard trades instead. When I'm keep trying to tell myself I don't know what the hell that thing is. I keep trying to tell myself I only need one good trade in a day, one working trade in a day, nothing more really. And you'll always seem to get one trade, but I think that was definitely a good trade, and I think that was okay as well. I don't see any issues with that. Pushed strongly back, came back up, popped above here. We got that pushed down. I'm expecting it to come down to here. Probably could have sat in for some more points, but I'm happy with 2.5 points. I got a bit more on the other trade, so I'm trying not to be too greedy. So that was a failure and a failed second entry. Okay, let's leave that. I was just thinking if this was a bit steeper. I'm just wondering whether this is possibly more there and there. I think that's probably a little bit better, isn't it? The fact that we came up. Yeah, that seems to be fit there okay. And I'd argue that's an overshoot there, because how I had it before, we had this and nothing really changed up here. So I think that probably looks about right, actually. It fits quite nice up there. Yeah, I prefer that a little bit. You took the second entry short, yeah. That one there, yeah. So yeah, it was a second entry short and it was a failure as well. It is nice when you get the best of both worlds. And we had this push down, push up. Obviously a couple of times went bearish, then push below the EMA, pop back up, closed. A couple of ticks off its low. I'd expect that to go down to at least these lows here. I'm trying to use my common sense because I know these trades exist. It's just sometimes when you sit here and they don't come very quickly, not as quick as they used to, your patience can go, I got to say. Well, that's where the skilled trader comes into it. And that's where my struggles are a little bit. But the only way you learn these patience is to trade more and more and more. And when you realise over time, these good trades do come along, you've just got to sit and wait for them. Then things will start to improve. But there's no way around it. You just have to keep sitting here and keep trying and learning. And wherever you fail and lose a trade, you've just got to learn from it. And, that's all you can do. It's a numbers game. The more you sit here, the longer you sit here, time after time after time after time, looking at these markets, noticing what happens. You get better at it. I've always been a believer in that. If you keep trying these things, it's like anything, any job, it takes time. You can't learn to be a doctor overnight. It takes, it can take a lot of years of just learning and trying and practice. The more times you do things with patience, the better you get at it. And, it's the same with everything. It is. And considering the amount of money you could earn at trading, if trading was easy, everyone would be doing it, but it's not. And I kind of like the fact that it's not. Because I like the fact that, I can do something special when I get to do it, there is a possible failure here, but obviously things are coming down at the moment, so on. I'm not even thinking about. But I'm just wondering whether somebody is likely to take that and get trapped. Yeah, it's nothing I really want to get into, especially when I've started off with such a good start. I want to sit tight and protect that. I mean, really, all I need to do that is another 3 times. I've passed, and I've passed the right way. There's something nice about doing it right, not taking stupid trades, not taking stupid gambles. It's kind of a nice, clean way of doing it, and you feel like you've earned your account then, don't you, when you get your PA? I had a chat with someone this morning, actually, about that. Apparently someone did that, didn't they? They I think they worked out, Apex worked out that there was 2 guys. They both passed PA accounts. They'd maxed out on their contracts on news. One went long, one went short. I believe one of them hit $30,000 and then went on to trade micros for the next 20 odd days, before it was 10 days. It's just quite clever, really, in a sort of sadistic way, but yeah, they obviously want to avoid that. But on your PA account, on your valuation, it doesn't matter what you do. You could do it all in a day. You could pass it in a day, couldn't you? And then just go on to micros. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think really, Sam, what they're after is people who are just genuinely trading normally. Now, at the end of the day, if I take a shorty, like if I'm running, I tend to run my trades a lot of the times, yeah. So if I took this, I came out here, but if I took this short here, I'll tend to bring my profit down here. Now, if it kept going and going and going, which it does sometimes, and I kept bringing my stop down, and I ended up, let's say I took this trade here and it came down, and I've done it before a couple of times, and then we pulled up and had like a failure. And I took that one. I got 2 trades on the go there. And let's say I moved it down there and moved it down here and moved it down here. And we ended up getting something like 15 points. There's a potential $3,000 I've earned there just in one trade. Now, let's say I had a trade earlier on in the day down here and got 10 points out of it. I'm up $4,000 in a day. It does happen. Other days, I tend to average around about the $400. So I've made 10 times a profit. But it does happen sometimes. Especially if we look after that FOMC news. I mean, look at that. If you'd sort of, if you'd have say you're thinking we're going up, if you'd have taken that and you'd have run that up, look at the possible points you could have had. You know what I mean? You could have taken that one, and then when it broke here, you might have taken it all the way down and just. So we do have days sometimes, and any trader worth their salt, I did think we'd have a spike out of here. I guess we're just, I think they call these, I can't remember patterns anymore, but they call that a bull flag, don't they? Up and then a flag, and then we tend to spike out the same way. But as long as, if I'm trading 2 contracts and I take one trade, and I'm in that trade and I take a second trade and I'm in them both and I run down and do $3,000. Now, if I all of a sudden go down to, I don't know, a couple of micros for the rest of it, I think, fair enough, they've got an issue. But if I carry on, if I happen to have one really good day, but I carry on trading exactly the same amount of contracts, no one's going to have a problem with you. Because any trader worth their salt, if there was an opportunity and you could see it going up, would try and run it as high as you can. Any trader worth their salt, you'd be stupid not... Sorry about that. You'd be stupid not to. You've got to take advantage of these sometimes where we get days like this. If you took a trade here and it kept going up and you wanted to ride it and ride it and ride it, you'd be daft to go, well, I better come out here just in case Apex are going to be upset about it. Nah, that's rubbish. I know the sniper system. What little I know about that is they do have some big runners sometimes. So they don't always have little scalps like we do. So now, as long as you're genuinely trading, one trade at a time, between, I don't know, 2 and 5 trades a day, somewhere around there, and you're trading the same amount of contracts roughly. You know, some days on busy days you may go down to 1 contract, but the rest of the time, no one's going to have an issue with you. No one's going to have an issue. All they want to do is people trying to manipulate the system. So as long as you're not, as long as you're generally trying to trade and make money and not manipulate the system, I'd say there's no worry. So this is what I want to try and avoid doing. Thinking, oh, we've had a good push up there. Let's take this one. I've got to avoid doing that. Whereas second entries I could take, or failures. Making more than 700 in one day on one account. Yeah, I mean, I think when I was building up my PA account, I tended to average around about the $400 a day. Some couple of days I had $125, I had $200. I would say one in every 4 or 5 days I'd have $1,000. Because I do tend to, I don't always go, I like to try and get a minimum 1-to-1, which is 3.5 to 4 points. But if I took this trade here, I'm expecting it to come down to the bottom. So, I'd be expecting to somewhere around here. I'd be expecting to get 4 points or so. And what I tend to do is when it comes down, I usually then wait for it to get near where I want and jam me stopping. And then if I get lucky and it goes further, great. If it doesn't and takes me out, I've got sort of what I need. But all I need to do is get calm again and get back to those good stuff. Hard to say, there's something like that, isn't it? Might be from here, but it's usually down the bottom, isn't it? My arse measured me, please. Excuse me a second, my wife's just giving me a quick ring. 2 minutes. Excuse me, just a few minutes, guys. I'll be back in about 3 minutes. Sorry about that. I had a panicked wife and daughter phone up. They're out sorting out things and plans for the funeral and all that, so getting clothes and jewellery and all the usual stuff us guys avoid. Sorted. Problem O solved. Okay. I did expect this. I think they call that a bull flag on a lot of patterns. You had a strong push up, a little bit flapping in the wind and then up. How high we'll go, I don't know, but I expect to make a new high off these highs here. Okie dokie. Okay, I expect to break this high. This around the time the ES picks a direction. I'm not sure there, bud. Okay, strongly push straight above that. I don't think there's any news around today, is there? We had some medium news, but that was earlier on. There's not news. I think it's the fact that it's just as we've been pushing here. I would say there's probably some shorts around there. Certainly, I'd certainly say there's some shorts there. So I think as we popped above here, that's what caused that bit of spike. Obviously, we've made a new high. There's probably some shorts there. I don't know whether anybody will took those and put their stop a bit. I don't know, but I don't think that was news. I don't think. There's nothing I'm aware that's happening at the moment, although I could be wrong. Is there? I've got nothing on my thing. What is that? Is that a lower impact move? News, Jamie, is it? I'm not too sure about that, mate. Natural gas storage, 10:30 New York. Nothing on my chart here, unless it's low impact news. Oh, it's on there, is it? Okay. It's low impact. Yeah, I don't tend to. I've spoken to people like Mac and Daniel and that about that, and they tend to not bother with the low impact stuff. Trying trying to think, that was around there, wasn't it? It could be a combination of let's have a look. So yeah, it could have been. I mean, we pushed out here and we had a if you look at that, there's a failure there, and it's also a second entry short. So if you look up here, we've pushed up and we've stemmed down, and we've come down into that bearish pin bar, and we have the same there. And then obviously we tick below and cause this this failure. And I'm guessing there's going to be some shorts there which cause that push up. And obviously then we came to this high, didn't we? And I dare say there's probably some shorts trap there. So that might have given it a bit of a spike, but it may have been a combination of the two. But I spoke to them about low impact and they said tend to not bother with it. But perhaps even low impact could be potentially all news is news, isn't it, really? I mean, you know, it's hard to say, really. So it's a bit above my remit there. Okay, so we've clearly hit this measured move. We've had one push up and a second push up. Yeah. So let's see what happens now. Yeah, there is probably a bigger move there, isn't there? Let's have a look. Whether you went from here or here, I'd say if there is a measured move, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Look at that. It falls exactly the same part. It's weird, really, when it, you know, sometimes you see all this and you think there's a lot of randomness to it, but there isn't, is there? We had that one leg up, and that bull flag, and then another bigger leg up with two separate legs in it, and look where those legs finish. In fact, obviously there's a tick or so, but they're more or less identical, aren't they? But then maybe that other leg, maybe it might go up to there. It's hard to say, but it might go up here. Possibility. Let's leave it there for now, because obviously we've chopped a little bit up and down, then we've hit this and we've had this one strong trend. So that is a clear leg to me. See what happens. If it goes a bit higher, we may drag it down to here, but market seems to be a lot more calmer today. It is a little bit of choppy, but it's clearly in a range. We've had this nice, quite tight range where you may have we certainly had that nice trade, didn't we? Had this other trade here. You may have taken that as a lower high. You can recount that. So new high, come down here. Yeah, if you recount that, so try to go once, push down, try to go twice. That wouldn't have been a terrible trade, I don't think. And you'd have got certainly 5 points out of that if you'd taken that one. So, and obviously that one. So there's been some easier trades. Let's just get rid of some of these now and figure out what's going on up here. This is probably going to be a bigger trend again. I just hope my crypto position is going up as well. Probably going to be somewhere along the lines of that. That looks okay to me. Let me get rid of this smaller one. Let's change the colour on a little bit. Let's go for something pretty. There we go. Okay, yeah, that looks okay. Let's keep that bottom tight. Yeah. Okay. That's working quite nice, actually. I like that. One leg up, two legs up, clearly within that. So we're having something similar here, slightly on a larger scale, though. So then I would say this is probably going to be the overnight lows, pushing right up, and I'd say we're quite likely going to hit that. So the market's a bit more predictable today so far, and it's given us a few trades, isn't it? It's given us quite a nice one there, a nice one there earlier on. I got to say, when you have these nice trades, you know, without a massive amount of time before them, you do start to get your confidence level, don't you? You see these and you think, well, that's an obvious trade, I'll take that. You see that one, you think that's an obvious trade, I'll take that. And you're thinking, actually, why don't I just do this every day? So at the moment, I've avoided picking tops and bottoms, and what's happened? I'm two trades up. So I just need to follow my own rules. Then I follow the obvious rules. Yeah, it's quite nice when you have a pleasant day. I mean, that's quite, you know, we've had this nice trend up here. We've had a break, a couple of attempts to do a high. Then we've had this bull flag, and then we pushed up nicely, which I did mention here on these bull flags a lot of times when we have this sharp trend like this, and then we come down here. At some point, we shoot out the top, the opposite side that we came in, and we did. So it's nice when you be able to read the markets a bit better, isn't it? The trouble is, a lot of people would think when we have a break, we have a new low, but obviously there was no attempt of a new low there, was there? So it'd be easy to go, let's take something here or something, isn't it? But when you see these patterns and you know what's likely to happen, you're pretty sure it's going to come out, maybe retest the top of this, which it sort of did, a tick or two off, and then rocketed up. Fits really nice, that does. Let's add some colour, shall we? Okay. Lovely. That's nice, isn't it? Nice bit of colour. The V-shaped reversals have been plentiful. Yeah. Crazy to think about. Look at this motherfucker, I know. I don't think it's going to have any problems. I was hoping we're going to have a little bit of a break here, maybe, at some point. And then maybe a push for this, which is give us an... But gotta say, does anybody else find these discords flipping confusing? Just clicked in a Discord earlier. Someone had an invite to a Discord, and I clicked in this. I just don't understand how they work. They're just confusing. Anybody else think Discords are confusing? All sorts of stuff on the left, loads of stuff on the right. I've got a clue what I'm doing. I just wanted to have a look at this this gorilla guy. You can look at his Discord. Sorry, you can watch him trade live for a week. It's normally $99 a month, but you can watch him for a week. And I've clicked on this Discord with this link, and I can't figure out what the bloody hell's going on. I don't know whether I'm getting too old or what. Yeah, you think so as well? Yeah. No, I just don't get them. If you spend a lot of time on them, then you probably... But they're confusing, aren't they? I've got stuff all down the left side, stuff down the right side. I just got... there's information all over the place. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. Someone mentioned to me about a Discord, and what experience I've had with Discords, I'd run a mile from them. Right at the rooms to enter. Oh, there's always someone who knows what they're doing. Glad you're here, mate. Left is the people in the server. Yeah. No, I just wanted to get onto his live stream and just let it play quietly in the background. And See what he's making this. But it's saying, I trade live here, grid price action, blah, 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 channel locked. I don't know why. No idea why. Confusing, confusing, confusing. Oh, well. There is a bit of a break, isn't there? And that's the first break we've had. Zoom in here. That's a possible second entry long off here, as long as we can get down low enough. Let's get an order ready just in case. Hopefully I want it to come down here first and sit here in an ideal world. Yeah, I want this to break below here, really, and sit here. I wouldn't get into that. Something similar to what it did back here. Hopefully not as big a bar, though. Yes, it is, Austin. Don't ask me what happened to the PA count. I think you can work that out. I've just been having some stuff going on at home lately in my head. It's just been in the clouds. So I started afresh. The good thing about failing a PA count is you get an 8% off offer. So I took that this morning. I've taken a couple of trades. So things are going good this morning. There's been 2 nice trades. I'm not going to take anything stupid now. One thing I have learned is when I do start off in the green, I tend to get extra cautious. Might take a visual two legs back. You're on about long, 1 leg, 2 legs, and go long. Well, it hasn't actually made a new high yet, has it? Yeah, if it came back to here, I'd take the same. I don't even think it's, well, yeah, it is a visual, isn't it? 1, 2. But it'd need to come down to here, wouldn't it? I don't even think it's going to get the chance, mate, unfortunately. But yeah, I'd take those. I've got no issues with that. Once, twice, and a little bit lower. Ideally, you want it sort of to come down to here, don't you? So at least you've got a few points to the high. But I don't think it's going to let us. That's the frustrating thing about sometimes these markets. That's what tests your patience, doesn't it? You're thinking, okay, we've got a break now. Here's a lovely opportunity for a trade. Look, it doesn't even get back here. You can't do nothing with that. You can't do nothing with that. And it is frustrating, isn't it? Just wondering as we're going sideways whether it'll try and have another. It'll try and go up a bit higher. All right, we got this measured move, but when you go sideways like that, you're thinking a little bit higher, aren't you? But yeah, it is frustrating, isn't it, when you sat here and you wait for one. You sort of feel like you're entitled to one, aren't you? But it is. Markets can be cruel sometimes. Having said that, we have been given 2 good setups, which we don't always do lately, do we? Sometimes we've really got to fight for them. We don't get anything. I mean, second entry longs don't really come much more as obvious that. Unfortunately, some may have left, mind you. Having said that, we certainly had opportunities to get in it. I got in it with a limit order, but it's a big chunky bar, isn't it? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's a 5 1/4 point bar, unfortunately. But you sort of had the opportunity to reduce that down to 3 points. But we don't often get these push up break, nice solid break, new low, big bullish bar, one took off its high. You'd don't expect that to get up here, wouldn't you? Certainly to, I'd say, this line here, which it did eventually, or touched it here, but we don't always get them as obvious. That wasn't as obvious, was it? Yeah, it was actually. It wasn't too bad, but this is we're clearly downtrending here, aren't we? But we had 2 good trades by about. We hadn't been trading 45 minutes there, so it's not often you get 2 nice trades in the first 45 minutes. Not lately, anyway. Okay, looks like we're going to make this second measured move here, but there isn't anything here, really, is there? There is a couple of legs before we pushed higher, but it doesn't even come near them. We want something sitting here, really, don't we? Oh, I've just had a new subscriber, the Naked Mongolian. Where are you? Are you here somewhere, are you? Can I see you somewhere? The thing is, what I did is you've got to subscribe before you can comment, and you've got to wait 5 minutes. So he's not on here yet, I don't think. The Naked Mongolian. Okay, we've touched that right on the tick. Right from here, actually, is that? Yeah, it's that, isn't it? It's confusing things. Yeah, we're right on it here, aren't we? Right on it here. Right on it here. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, see, it just goes to show you, as random as they can look sometimes, there's definitely a method in the madness. I did wonder whether it was going sideways for a bit, whether we were going to have another push up. I mean, we could potentially, after yesterday's solid news, have a really good strong push up today. And the ironic thing is, sometimes when you think, oh, it can't go any higher, surely, it just keeps on going, doesn't it? We could end up having some form of another, a wider. In fact, that'd fit quite nice, wouldn't we? Wouldn't it? Let's just, that's not what I wanted. Let's just remove that a minute. I mean, if it kept on going, I would be doing something like that, but just so we know we've had this break, let's put it back there for now. I like to try and keep these channels as tight as I can, and I don't really want to extend them until we've pushed higher and then maybe come back and gone higher again and higher again. Sounds like a college party I went to. Can't remember the last time I went to a party. Sad, isn't it? I've just seen a post on a Max Price Action Trading Systems Facebook group. Somebody recommended me a copy trading tool. I was tempted to put don't get Apex, but they may hate me. I was tempted. Someone's put a Replicanto or Apex trade copier. I'm so tempted to say the latter. Yeah, it's a lot more straightforward, the market today, isn't it? We had that little bit of choppiness, and then we've had this nice trend up, slow trend down, nice trend up. In fact, if we can get a little bit of a beak here, I'd say we're looking at, well, it's almost like some form of a bird. We've got drawing tools here, have we? Path, yeah. It is really, isn't it? It's like a beak, isn't it? We've got like the tail here, the main body of it, the neck. It does look like a beak. We need a little mouth in and a little eye, I think. There's the eye. We need a bit of a mouth. Yeah, sort of like the Loch Ness monster a little bit. Yeah, maybe a big wing or something. Oh, the boredom. It does it? Sometimes you do get something that resembles something, don't you? And that does. It definitely looks like a swan or something, doesn't it? Some kind of an animal or something. You're going to have some fun with your time, haven't you? Yeah, I can see us going higher. I can. Hidden second entry long. Yeah, there would be if we had something worth taking. It is one leg down, a little bit of up, sideways, another leg down. It is. I mean, it's not. I'm not getting the impression we're. I'd like to push down here, but I'm not getting the impression we're going down just yet. We have had a new high, but I'd have preferred that there, a little bit more bullish. See if prices hold it. Yeah, if you wanted to go risky, you could go up, couldn't you? But it's an inside bar for a start, isn't it, more or less? Right, so there's your failure, isn't it? Although that is a second entry long. See if that does push up. Just recommended the replicant actually. They put the comment on my max price action, so I've just said I've had some issues with the trade copy, so Replicanter would be a safer bet, but who knows? If I had my choice all over again, I would probably go for the Replicanter. I mean, Replicant, they're called something bots. They're actually a software firm, aren't they? Whereas Apex just sell this system, so and they don't support it, they don't back it up. So I would say my choice, if I had it over again, would be Replicanter. I've got to say, trading on the Apex trade copy was just a stressful time for me. Whether I just had some bad luck. We are getting this beak. I'll tell you what, if it comes back here and then has a little mouth, I'm going to be seriously concerned. Okay, let's keep this tight. If that's the case, we've had a little break. Not massively convincing one, but see what happens. You do push on it. It's starting to look like the top of a beak, isn't it? It's getting very worrying. Flowbots, yeah, I think Flowbots are more. They're more of a software firm, aren't they? And they tend to. I'm sure they will provide updates and more support. Trouble is, when you buy a bit of software should be the same as any purchase. You have some sort of a warranty, don't you? You certainly have some sort of an instruction book and some sort of a warranty. If something doesn't go right, they're obliged to put it right. So who knows? Bottoms again, yeah. And you spelt my name wrong. It's A. You're right. Lance. There's no E in it. Then yeah, you've got an E where the A should be, but I won't hold that against you. I've been called a lot worse. Yeah, I'm not doing bottoms anymore. Yeah, I think if I stay away from bottoms, I'll be a wealthy man, I think. I don't know whether I just don't have a very good understanding of them or I'm just not particularly good. I suppose we all have our strengths and weaknesses, don't we? Oh, Sam, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? It's all right, Mahala, you didn't need to delete it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I don't mind. We all spell names wrong, don't we? So we've got this quite tight trend channel. I would say that is a break and a new low. And we've had a push up. So I'm certainly get that sort of the vibe that we're going a bit higher, but I don't know, maybe we just read a couple of pushes and we'll come back down. It's hard to say at the moment, but just a bit hungover, lucky you. I will be tomorrow night, I think. I got my mum's funeral tomorrow. So we got a big do planned, big send-off planned. So I shall be drinking some serious whiskey tomorrow. So my head's likely to be banging Saturday morning. But the thing I like about funerals, or the one good side about funerals, is you get to see friends and family, don't you? And we've got some people coming I haven't seen for a while, and so I kind of like them in a way. It'd be nice to catch up with people. That's the trouble, really. Half the time, your friends, well, more your family, really. The only time they get together, really, is weddings and funerals, really, which is a shame. But that's life, isn't it? We've all got our lives. We're all involved in our lives, and we never see enough of family that we probably should do. Lives are so busy nowadays, aren't they? You know, because of the prices of things. Most couples are, both partners got to work nowadays, and so you don't have the opportunities to, see as much of family that you usually do. Thanks, Kyle. It's all right. It was a while ago now. She passed away. She'd had cancer. We knew it was going to happen. But she was okay with it. So that makes life a bit easier, doesn't it? Bird's head Fermi. Yeah. So we've had a couple of pushes out. Are we coming down? I don't know. I'm not getting that feeling. I think we're pushing up some more, but I might be wrong. So if we've had this break, there's a new low. So it's early days yet, isn't it? See, there's sort of almost like a hidden second entry short there, but I can't see anybody short now. It's a little bit, I'd say, it's not a trade I want to get into this anyway, because that is what I need to be doing is identifying these congested areas and staying well clear. And if I can stop picking me tops and bottoms and stay out of these, anything sort of 3 or more bar areas, then I shouldn't hopefully go far wrong. If we can get a failure, maybe. But we're certainly getting that impression. It has come below the EMA, but it's pushed through strongly, isn't it? Whether we're just retesting a bit. Bird or dragon's head, yeah. Something doesn't look right, does it? Maybe a bit of a trap there. Just wondering if anybody's gone for that higher low. Because what I'm seeing, it does give us an impression that we're moving higher. So if this comes below here and traps them longs. See, we've had this short-term trend channel. Even if we move that up to that top there, I'd say it's certainly for a short-term trend channel. Obviously, the breaks are a lot less dramatic, aren't they? But that looks like a break and a new low. We've had one push up and a little bit of sideways. Maybe as we're getting a bit higher. But there is a lower high there. Maybe that's triggered, and hard to say, isn't it? But obviously, it's congested, so we don't do nothing, do we? It's going to be a failed second entry, long but risky. Yeah, I'd say we're going long. I wouldn't be shocked if we're pushing up here for some higher stuff. Certainly not looking bearish, is it? Just thinking where there's likely to be shorts in there. I can't see where any shorts have taken that. Maybe they just think big push up like that. Let's just jump in here. I'm not getting the impression we're coming down. Okay, so if anybody took that higher low, they made a couple of points, haven't they? It is a bit, well, it's quite congested there, isn't it? And my experience of congestion, a lot of it can be down to luck. It drops the odds dramatically, doesn't it, when you get involved in these? And there are areas where these sort of traps are quite prevalent. So you got a possible second entry short forming there. You've got a lower high, which is triggered, and they're still in this, so that is possibly going to trigger that. So there's a couple of traps brewing in that lot, isn't there? See if this comes down and below here. We'll see if this triggers here and pushes up. Someone's going to get stuck. Yeah, it's definitely stacking up side by side, isn't it? You know, it's weird, isn't it? I feel quite calm today. I almost felt like the pressure's off. I feel like, sometimes we have these moments of clarity where I know what I need to do. I need to leave tops and leave bottoms and don't get involved in this shit. And if you can do that, even with a little bit of experience, you're sort of halfway there, really, aren't you? We've had two nice trades, pretty straightforward trades. That one was nice. That was, I'd say that was definitely a 90% plus at least. And that one wasn't far behind it. They don't come any clearer. I think anybody would have took that trade, and I think a majority will have taken that one as well. I'll be shocked if I don't see that one on Marco's chart or Mac's chart later. And that's it. My job's done really for the day. I'm just sat here going through the motions. I'm not going to jump into a trade unless I have one that jumps out and screams at me, but I'm quite happy going home with that. That's a good day's work. It's bloody shame it wasn't on a PA account. But it is what it is. Things get to me less and less now because I realise it's part of the process, part of the misery. You have to go through it. You're never going to have a good marriage without a load of misery, are you? Let's face it. Sorry if I've offended any female viewers there. No, it swings and roundabouts. Okay, so if you took that higher low there, which I don't think many will, see that it's a possible failure, but you really don't want to get into a trade in there, especially in the middle of it. Good analogy. I'm not known for my analogies, that's why. Yeah, so if you sort of went short there, you got triggered and stopped out. If you took the higher low there, you might have just got a 0.75 or something, then you've been stopped. Well, you're about to get stopped out. Yeah. There may have been some in that. I don't think you'd have got many points out of that if you took that. Yeah, you'd have got 0.75. But yeah, so the trouble is with these areas, you can get a trap going one way and then a trap going another way. So if you took that one, you got stopped. If you took that one, triggered and stopped. So the trouble is, the more times you mess up around these areas, you naturally avoid them. Then you just get that experience with time, whether you get it easy or whether you learn it the hard way. That's the good thing about having lots of losers and lots of failed accounts. You do tend to learn some quicker than others, I might say. And I'm not one of the quicker ones. Yeah, you're right, Carl. Give and take. In some cases, there's a lot of taking. I'd say we're probably doing some of this at the moment. My long order's sitting at 41.80. Where are you? Down here, are you? You're going long here, are you? Yeah, see, I can't just pick a place at there thinking we're going to go down. And it's hard to say, isn't it? Some do, though. What was that again? That's overnight eyes, isn't it? I said to go right there. See you in a bit. Okay, short-term trend channel break, new low. Hit the way it flips over by itself. Yeah, so we've had that one there, haven't we? We've had a break and a new low. Push up, down, break, new low. Doesn't matter how bloody good this bar looks. If it comes back, I ain't getting back in here. If anybody sees me take a long, in fact, there's a second entry, isn't it? If it works now. I'm not picking bottoms. If anybody sees me picking a bottom, make sure you insult me. So it could be there, it could be there. I'd say, it's hard to say at the moment. Let's just go for that for now and see if it holds. If it pushes up now, then I'll leave that there. Because it sort of sits along there as well, doesn't it? The bottom. See what happens. You rewatch your streams? Yeah, I watch the good ones. The bad ones I tend to just delete. No, what I did a couple of days ago, I did a bit this morning as well, is watch some of my earlier streams when I made good decisions. And I quite often say, I can't take these tops, or it's getting a bit congested, or there's 3 bars sat side by side, I'm leaving this alone. And I do quite readily mention that and leave them alone. And it works. I got to say, I managed to, from the day one I streamed, it took me 7 days to pass an evaluation. So I built up obviously a pretend amount of money, which was $3,000. And then I did manage to get up to $7,500 in the live PA account. So you add the two together, I managed to go from 0 to over $10,000. So you can't do that unless you don't know what you're doing. But you need to continue to keep your standards high and take those good trades. And that's where I lapsed. I got myself into some poor decision making and some bad judgment stuff. But, I realise it and I'm trying to do something about it. And that's all we can really do. You make mistakes and you try your best to learn from them. Let's just get rid of this short one for now. Excuse me just for a second. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Oh, is that for me? Was it hit the books about mindset helps a lot? I've read so many books. If I look on my Audible now, I've got so many books on there. Trader books and mindset books, and I've gone to bed listening to hypnosis stuff and all sorts of stuff. The mental game of trading, I got that. These are just, I did delete down. Trading in the zone. Trading with anxiety or anxiety-free trading. How to trade, day trade forex trading, futures trading, online marketing, hedge fund wizards, forex trading, book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the beginner's guide to stock trading investment, trading Bible for beginners, 5 books, intelligent investor, trading without fear. I've got many of them. I ended up reading a load and deleted a load. I've got about 6 or 8 books downstairs. There's a bunch of websites. Do you know the conclusion I've come to is I've heard all the bits of advice out there, and I would say nothing has worked. Now, what I believe is the only way you get to deal with the emotions is, now let's say, I've said this many times before, so let's say, for instance, you're in a relationship and, you know, your partner turns around and says, that's it, they're leaving, blah, blah, blah. You'll go through a massive amount of emotions. You'll get angry, you'll get frustrated, you know, you'll get upset. We go through all those emotions, and we've all known people that are going through breakups, and because they're emotional, they just drain you. You find it hard to control yourself. You'll get into arguments, you'll get into fights, you'll have screaming matches, you'll have days where you're upset. You know what I mean? You'll have all, but you'll go through this wave of emotions, and the only way that goes away is time. And I think a lot of it's to do with trading. The more you trade and learn to trade, your skill level will naturally develop. You'll get better at it. You'll make less mistakes, and your ability to manage your emotions will get easier and easier and become more and more the norm. So I'm yet to find something that works. You know, I go to bed, I would say, every night, or most nights. Last night I went to bed with this discipline thing playing. I also have listened to these wavelengths that just play these weird vibrating sounds. I go to bed with that woman called Creeder. That sounds a bit ominous, doesn't it? Creeder, the mental coach, the one from Dublin, from Southern Ireland, I think. I go to bed, listen to her sometimes. Wife doesn't like it, but there you go. But I have all these different sort of hypnosis and relaxing things and calming things. In fact, I was talking to a trader pal yesterday. I won't say his name, but he started taking beta blockers to calm down that sort of, you know, that, because sometimes when you get into these trading times, your heart can be pumping, and he started taking medication to try and help. I've heard all sorts of things. I have, what people will do to try and, you know, calm the nerves and stuff. I mean, I've come up with having a couple of glasses of whiskey, seeing if it helps take the edge off. But it's obviously not a good pattern to get into, because if it works, you're going to need to trade on alcohol every day. But I've tried it all, and I think a lot of it is down to just time. I think, like anything where you have a lot of emotions, the only thing really that sort of heals it is time. Dylan Moody. Also check out Demon Finder sheet to find out bad habits you've developed. Yeah, I did listen to I did read a book actually about habits. It was by, I can't remember her name now. It was by a woman. Was it? No, it was by a guy. Sorry, about these sort of habits we go into, and how to deal with those, and how to break the cycle, and all that. I've read so much, and I've got to say, I haven't really found any of it worked. Now, perhaps it has to a degree, but I just think it's like most things. The longer you do it, the more you do it, sooner or later it'll become more normal and less sort of invasive on your mind, if you like. If that makes any sense. Piece of blockers enough. That's about like candy. Yeah. The thing is, you may be too chill, and you know, you don't know, do you? It might work, actually. You might jump in here and just sit in a runner all day long, quite happily there, sat whistling to yourself. But no, it's an old buddy of mine I chat with. He started taking some beta blockers to see if it'll help. I just suppose if it... Difference here, your medical system, your health system in the US is quite different, isn't it? You've got private health systems over here. If you're paying your private, you go here, and because we've got the NHS here, they only give you what you need. You can't go, oh, I want to. Can I give these a go? It don't work like that. They'll test you. If they don't think you need it, they won't give you it. So I couldn't, just rock up to my local doctors and go, right, I want to be tested for this, that, and that, and that. I want my cholesterol tested. It doesn't work like that. If you're ill, there's something wrong with you, then they'll test you for these things, but you can't randomly, say, can I give this a go or that a go? US is quite, I mean, we've had these rumours for years that they're going to try and privatise the NHS. I kind of hope they don't. Whether they will or not, I don't know. But the good thing is here, we don't have to pay any, like, in the US, you got your medical insurance, haven't you? I think they did have that Obamacare, didn't they, that come out, which gave you a basic. But it is terrible, really. Did anybody ever watch that film called John Q with Denzel Washington? But I think there was an issue with the employment he was with, and they downgraded or something to do with their medical, and it suddenly did a heart transplant, and it's quite heartbreaking to know that stuff like that actually goes on. But if you've never watched John Q with Denzel Washington, watch it. It's a great film. And it does sort of give you a little bit of enlightenment into, these issues you may get, with health insurance, stuff like that. But we may end up going down that road. Sorry. But I like the fact that if there's anything wrong with me or my family, we just shoot down the hospital and they sort you out. We don't have to worry about paying for it. The only downside at the moment with this system is the waiting lists are horrendous at the moment. I know my mother-in-law was waiting for an operation. She's been waiting 3 years. That's the waiting list. It's breaking the rules. Yeah, Yusuf, you and me both, my friend. Everybody suffers from that. I tell you what, every single comment I see on here about issues with trading or whatever, you're all right because you've all been through it. That's the problem I've had. I got that. I took those 2 trades yesterday, and that sent me on a down. There is a possible now that sent me on a downward sort of a lonely old road yesterday because I took 2 trades. Instead of having the patience to sit, just chit chat and watch the markets and wait for something just to pop up, I just thought, we're going up to the top. We've been up there before. I'll go short here, but I went short, the equivalent of there, right into a load of congestion. Now, obviously, it came down here, but it seems like every time you see it, it works, and every time you get into it, it doesn't. So I've really got to muster my patience up just to sit and wait. But it's weird, isn't it? If you can sit and wait patiently and wait for that 1 or 2 trades a day, you'll make a ton of money. It's weird, isn't it? We know that, but trying to do it, it's sort of, at times it seems impossible. What you're taking a failure here, are you? The reason I'm not at the moment is because we seem to be moving down, and I think it may reverse. There is that's a failure. If that breaks below here, that'll trap them longs. But it's a bit congested here. See how low this drops? It's quite a big bar. I want that to drop here, but that's congested to me. I'd say there's likely going to be some longs trap there. And I'd say there's definitely going to be some longs trap there. So I think if it breaks below here, I'm not going to take it, but I will put a little mark here. And if it breaks below here, I'd say that's a second entry long, which is triggered. That one is a failure, which is triggered. So there's 2 long positions triggered there, but to me this is coming down at the moment, and which is why I can't get involved in it. But besides all that, it's congested here, so it could go either way, really. You got out, yeah, lead and lose. It is at the moment, isn't it? It's I listened to who's the guy, top pick trader? What's his name? I can't remember his name, but he said whipsaw. It looks like barbed wire, doesn't it? You get a quick shoot up on a spike, and spikes at the bottom, spikes at the top. It is like barbed wire, isn't it? You can get trapped in there, and who knows who's going to come out and win it. But there is there's a failure there, which is triggered. You may have got out there. There's a second entry long there. There's a second entry long there, which is triggered. So there is 2 long positions triggered. And there's a failure. Fell second entry long, which may trigger. And I would say that is more likely going to be the one that's going to come down, because at the moment, to me, things are moving down. But I don't really want to take a trade in the middle of that lot. And I'm quite glad I'm taking the sensible option. Yeah, you got out, Jacko. Good on you. Yeah, you just can't in all good conscience take that, can you? That stuff's designed to make your life miserable. Yeah, there's definitely a couple of traps. In fact, I'm quite surprised if anybody's gone along there. I'm really quite surprised those they've worked. Having said that, the failed second entry along here didn't trigger, so that might be why. Looks like it does, doesn't it? Actually, to be fair, as well as that, I think that's probably better. It's easy to get. That's what I mean. It's very easy to do those, isn't it? And to think, oh yeah, look at that, we'll go there. I mean, fortunately, that one didn't trigger, but it's very easy to think, oh, we're in a downtrend here. But when you take that away, it actually looks more of a range, doesn't it? So these are the ones I've got to take. That is like 2 legs up there. These are the ones I've got to stop taking. A lot of the times I'd have took that. Now I bet that'll trigger and rock it down. But if I jumped into it, let's see if that triggers. There is 2 legs up, although based on the size of that leg, I'd expect it to come here. But that has triggered. So you could call that a triple test, couldn't you? But look, what's happening? I bet I'd say, see that there, look, first entry, second entry short, that is. I think it's probably likely to come down, but I've got to avoid these like the plague. I'd say that's a bit of a breakout there. But even look where that's sitting there, look at that. As bearish as that is, and look at that, people will be thinking, oh, look at that, that's got to go short, 1 leg up, sideways, another leg up. But it doesn't half look like it's trying to stop that out. Whether it will or not, it probably won't actually, thinking how bearish that is compared to that and that. And it is a second entry short, but I'd still got to stay out of them, I have. I got out of 1 sec. Oh, the naked Mongolian, there you are. I thought you'd pop up somewhere. I saw your me phone flash up. I think we've spoken before, haven't we? I'm pretty sure we have. I think we have. I've got to come up with a cool name like that, I have. I mean, look, it does look so tempting, doesn't it? I mean, look, we bounced here, bounced here, bounced here. A little bit of a break above it there, but then look, it's respected that line perfectly and respected it perfectly. In fact, it's probably not a bad trade, is it? But with the way things are lately, whether they work, what would be the percentage? I don't know, 70% maybe. I mean, 1 leg up, little bit of sideways, another leg up. Yeah, actually, I don't think that was a bad trade. But it's not often it respects the top of a range. I mean, look at that. Perfect touch, perfect close, perfect finish, perfect close, perfect, you know. It's not often it respects it as nice as that. So I think in hindsight, it wasn't a terrible trade to get a couple of points back to the EMA, but triple test for 2 points. Yeah, you're right. What? Yeah, it looks okay. That, I mean, look at, like I just mentioned, once, twice, 3 times. It's closing beautifully. 4, 5. It's closing beautifully. It definitely be worth 2 points. That. Having said that, it's not often nowadays these range finish as good as that. I mean, obviously that you got that initial push then into the range, but look how it's finished there. It's finished there, perfect, pushed above, but it's come down and closed. Now that is, if that's respecting a line, it's doing a damn good job of it. And I think that's definitely worth 2 points to the EMA. But I'm glad I left it because it's a habit I need to stay out of. I just need to watch these, and as I watch them over the coming months, the more I see where they're respected like this, then I may slowly start getting back into them. Maybe drop down to 1 contract or something just to get my confidence back in them. There is a little bit of congestion along there, just a little bit. Although I think it's probably likely going to come down. It may have a little pullback and a bit lower, but it's definitely struggling there a little, isn't it? But I expect it to come down here somewhere, maybe a bit below here or possibly to the bottom. It's hard to say. Have you got your, where are we, 4180? You're still away, aren't you? Yeah, you're miles yet. You may get that, mate, tomorrow, I think. Yeah, it is struggling there, isn't it? A little bit. There's definitely Jack, that failure there, here, bud. This one here, that one there. That's the failure. Yeah, and then the reason I didn't is because it's just a little bit. Well, it's more probably a confidence issue for me. It tends to just stick around the middle, and you get these stems either. I think momentum would have taken that up a bit. Yeah, but that's strongly come down, isn't it? Took a little bit to push through there, but then we've had. So let's see what happens here. These are the areas I need to stick, because if we end up getting something like that, they're the areas I need to just leave alone. See if it happens, Jacko, eh? Yeah, I'm just staying away from, even if we had something like that. I mean, I get that one. I think that was quite clear. The only thing that made me question that is I may have thought something like that, that's all. Because I still had this feeling we were going to push up, and I just had a feeling that I took a short there. Anyway, I've decided to. If I'd have just left tops and bottoms alone yesterday, I'd have still been here on a PA account now. $700 up, so I need to learn my lessons, and it's just maybe tops and bottoms are something I need to just sort of sit and watch and get better of. So we've had a little bit of an overshoot here by the looks of things. Yeah, see that one there? Now that is a time, depending on how it finished. There is a time, and it's a sort of a double bottom that I might have taken that long. Well, I about might have done. If it finishes like that, it's certainly stalling around the bottom, and that indicates to me that it's losing downward momentum. We've sort of had a bit of an overshoot here, haven't we? So I take it, some you're going to take that if it ends up bullish. Yeah, we've respected that line here pretty well. A little bit of an overshoot double bottom. Big bullish bar. Looks like it's going to finish nice, but Even so, I'm just going to leave this. I'm sure someone will take that. Although it has stemmed a little bit, but let's see where this goes. Let's see if we've got a couple of points out of it. See if it's worth 2 points. It has just dropped back just a little bit, but apart from a couple of ticks, it's not a terrible bar, is it? But I've said I'm staying away from these for a while, and if I do, I think my longevity might increase a little bit. 4177, you reckon down here? It's best to fade ranges only in the direction of the bias. Yeah, I tend to do that. I think we're going up. I'll tend to fade them out the bottom. I think Mac actually says that anyway. I have heard him say that. Yeah, if we pushed up here and then went sideways and pushed out the bottom, that's when I tend to go long. See if that finishes here. Might you call that a triple test? I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'm just going to grab myself a cup of coffee. I'll let you chat amongst yourselves. I'll be with you in 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, it's choppy as shit now, isn't it? Let's get Yeah, people are thinking, are we going higher or are we going lower? I suppose that's what happens when traders get confused. Are we going up? Oh, I don't know about that. Are we going down? Don't know about that. We do get this sort of barbed wire effect, don't we? We're staying around the middle, which is sort of an even match of something we're going higher, something we're going lower. Let's dance, yeah. So that's a triple test. See, that's relatively bullish. That's relatively bullish. That's triggered. In fact, if you triggered that, whether you'd have your stop there, I'd have probably, if I'd have taken that, I'd have probably had my stop at this. I'd probably take it down an extra tick, and if you did that, you survived at the moment. But there is another long that you might take. And I wouldn't be shocked if that gets stopped. So this is why I got to take these, because it's okay seeing something like that. That makes perfect sense to me. It's very likely going to go down with that. Yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it? I mean, I don't. Does anybody use that Fibonacci retracement tool, do they? I used to use that in I don't even know how to use it now. It's been that long. I used to use it in, that's it, isn't it? Where do we go from the top to the bottoms? Yeah, I think, I'm not quite sure how to use it, isn't it? You push up like that and you wait for a 50% retracement, don't you? Yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it? Probably more prevalent with this, actually. I used to use it with a currency. That's probably there, isn't it? Right, let's move it further over. No, not that one. Yeah, and weird, we had this push up. I think it's supposed to be the other way around, isn't it? Is it the other way around? I'm making the right balls up of this. Oh my god. Let's get rid of that. Start again. Okay, maybe we'll leave it there, eh? That's better. That goes up to the 100%. That goes down 0. And the pullback is 50%. Which is more or less, I mean, if you could take that down to there. Yeah, 50% is sort of what we did, wasn't it? Push up like that, pull back 50%, push up again. There's the bull flag, isn't it? Yeah. Well, that's what I call a bull flag, or that's what I was. Push up like that, bull flag, and then usually go up like that. I tend to follow currency a lot. And I don't tend to use them so much, but we don't use patterns so much in this style of trend, but yeah, that's a bull flag, isn't it? You know, push up, flaps in the wind down low, and then pushes up again. We may be getting something similar, actually. In fact, although it's a range, it does, in a sense, look like it's actually working down, doesn't it? Let's have a look. It does actually. It does look like there's another bull flag happening. So at some point, whether we come down to here or not, but I can't see it, whether we end up doing something similar, maybe. Does look like it. Push up, bull flag, push up, bull flag. We tend to not follow patterns on here so much. When I was more intraday traded on currency, we tended to a little bit. Are you done? Who's done? Who's finished? Who's finished? Who's finished? Yeah, 2 excellent winners. Good on you. And that silly mistake. Well, we make them, don't we? So who's finishing now? Jacko. Excellent. Yeah, have a good one, Jacko. No training for me tomorrow. I'll be back in on Monday. So Have a good weekend, everybody, or trading day tomorrow. You done as well, are you? What? Good luck, everyone. See you tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not trading tomorrow. What? I got my mother's funeral tomorrow, so yeah, look at that. Touch. Does look like it's bull flagging, doesn't it? So yeah, it's going to be Monday for me. So I got 3 days off. It's all right, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, mate. Cheers, Jacko. Yeah, I'll be a lot paralytic this time tomorrow, I reckon. Being sick everywhere. I can't handle my alcohol anymore. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I'll be live on Monday. I'm good with my 2 points. Absolutely. If you go out, just finishing green is good, isn't it? If you can finish green, happy days. I'm happy if I'm a couple of $100 up. I am. Especially, there's nothing nice going into the weekend as well, is there? When you're green. I'm just going to remove that for a minute, or at least fade it out a bit, because we do look like we're doing the same pattern, not quite as drastic. Now, considering we're not pattern traders, it looks pretty patterny, doesn't it? So I'd say at some point, maybe we pull back 50% from here. I don't use this, but I'm going to use it for the fun of it. Top is there. Bottom is there. So if you call that there, where is the 50% here? Well, look at that lot bouncing on there, and it's pushed back. So if we push up from now, I'll start using this tool every day. But that's ironic, isn't it? Now, whether we say we push up from here, I don't know. I've just taken this from these. In fact, I've just taken that from the previous highs here. So if you do call that 50%, look at that. So if we do push up and burst out of here, I'll be shocked. Well, that's blown that theory out the window. I'd say what I'm seeing here, we're likely to break out the bottom. Push down sideways. Quite often do the same, don't we? I won't be shocked if we end up doing something like this. The equal measure of both legs. I haven't used anything like that for over a year and a half, to be honest with you. From what I remember, you start from the bottom, take it up to the top, get it to the 0 and the 100%, and then the pullback should be, well, I don't know about it should, but somewhere around the 50%, isn't it? I know they call it the 50% retracement, don't they? I think we used to call it the 168, 1618. I don't know. Retracement. Well, I've never seen Mac use anything like that or any of the other guys. What measured move is it? 4182. Down here. Looks like it's going to hit it, doesn't it? From here. I'll just put it there as a rough. That's where I've got mine at. This does push down here. Does look like it's holding there at that bottom. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? You move these. So if you're moving your chart to here that's touching here, and it does the same there. It just goes to show at least you're in the same wavelength as other traders. But don't trust me. You always say that. You give me this advice, but say don't listen to me, or I might be wrong. Let's get rid of that now. It's not like it's going to use it. Yeah, we have. Look at that. Bum, bum, bum. Strongly bounced off it. You did start it from the top, did you not? Yeah, right. Dylan, you're off here, bud. Yeah. Thank you, my friend. Have a good day tomorrow and have a great weekend. And I'll see you on. I'll be here Monday as per usual. So have a great weekend, mate. To be fair, mate, I'm going to be finishing in about 10 minutes. I'm not planning on taking any more trades. I'm quite happy where I am. I'm just watching, really, and just I'll be packing in the next 10 minutes. And what time is it now? We've been going 2.5 hours. I'm happy. I'm well happy going into the weekend on that, mate, to be fair. I'm a quarter of the way there. So, yeah, I'm not taking any more trades. I'm quite happy just watching. Watching, chatting, and just looking. And study them later what went wrong. What's that? Study later what went wrong. Well, maybe with I'm assuming that was a joke in it. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think anything's gone wrong today. Surprisingly, 2 trades, 2 good ones. You haven't got much faith in me, have you? And study them later. What went wrong? No, everything's okay today. I always do look my chart later. I always get it, and I compare mine to Max. I compare it to some other, any of the other guys in the Facebook group, just to see if we're on the same wavelength. And to be fair, for the most, we usually are. All I've got to avoid doing is picking bottoms and picking tops. And I think if I leave those alone, I would say probably 8 out of the last 10 of my losing trades have been picking tops and bottoms. You think I'd learn, wouldn't you? But I clearly haven't been. It's really congested along here. It's choppy, isn't it? What time is it now? Yeah, I'm probably going to knock it on the head now, guys, actually. My dogs are pestering me to go out. So no trading tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday. and we'll get back to making nice, sensible trades. So have a good day tomorrow, guys. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. And I'll catch up with I'll catch up with you guys on Monday. So have a great weekend, and we'll chat Monday. Thank you. Thanks, Lead News. Cheers, guys.